Okay. Take number 75, episode 15 of the Welder's Wet Dream podcast. As I start and end every single video, I will not kill myself. I will never kill myself. And if I'm found in a way that looks like I have killed myself, it was the government. You may say, why so many takes? Because this one's fucking important. This one I gotta get right. I've spent hours of research and thinking. And frankly, I'm either right about this or I'm full on schizophrenic or retarded. Because all I have been thinking about is this topic. You may say, what topic is this? And it's Tupac and Biggie getting killed by the Clinton crime family, also known as Bill and his bitch wife, Hillary. Now, this one's not going to be a funny podcast. You're not going to sit back and you're not going to enjoy it. If anything, I hope you learn from it and you realize just how fucked up the government is, right? Right now, the only thing I want to do with the government, well, if AOC wants to sit on my face, so be it. But other than that, get me out of the fucking government after I just discovered all of this shit. All right. And I spoke to my lawyer, and by lawyer, I mean a girl that I know who is thinking about going into law school, and she didn't know how to protect me from this, so I looked it up online, and from what I can say, as long as I say this is all allegedly and my opinion, and I'm not saying this as fact, I'm good. I can't get sued for defamation. But that won't stop the Clinton family from killing me. So, if you see this podcast and I'm dead in a couple weeks, just know, wasn't this guy, wasn't an accident. I didn't choke, I didn't drown on purpose. It was done on purpose to prevent people like me from spreading the truth. Okay, let's get into this thing. So, let's first start off what Bill Clinton did as soon as he got into presidency. One of the first bills that Bill Clinton passed was the crime bill in 1994, which was sweeping laws that increased federal funding by law enforcement and created new penalties for crimes. It was signed into law by President Bill Clinton on September 13th, 1994. Funny enough, 2 days later, September 13th, 1996, Tupac Amaru Shakur died in a drive-by shooting in Nevada. Same date, September 13th, just 2 years later, 1996. Now, you may think that's a coincidence. Nope. No, it's not. Bill Clinton's playing a fucking joke on you guys. He's just showing you how good he is. Right? And you say, oh, one date? What's the big deal? Next thing Bill Clinton passed, the three-strike law bill. The three-strike law bill would place previously convicted of 2 or more violent crimes or serious felonies people, and it would make their sentence either a life sentence or the death penalty. So pretty big fucking deal. And that was signed March 7th, 1994. And just 3 years and 3 days later, March 9th, 2 days later, even worse than I thought. March 9th, 1997, Christopher Biggie Wallace was shot in a drive-by shooting at the age of 24 in Los Angeles. All right, so now we have the dates. We have the murderer and we have the victims. Now, as your host, what I'm going to do is put it all together. And before we get into that, I would just like to say thank the sponsor of this episode, Pat's Blue Ribbon, America's beer. If you want the truth, if you know the truth, or if you just can smell the truth, drink PBR. Again, I would like to thank them for sponsoring this episode. All right. So, with Bill Clinton facing re-election, he had wanted his approval rating to go up, of course, and a safer street and putting away criminals was one way to do it. How do we put away criminals? Well, you put away two people who were in a huge beef, one representing the West Coast, one representing the East Coast, both representing opposite gangs. Biggie representing the Junior Mafia based out of Brooklyn, and Tupac representing the Bloods. So, not necessarily gang violence, but there was a rivalry there, right? And as soon as one person died, what did that do? Immediately, was it the Crips? Was it the Junior Mafia? Who was it? The Bloods? Who killed who? And as most black people do, when shit happens and they don't like it, they kind of go crazy. And that wasn't racist. That wasn't a stereotype. That's just kind of a fact. So if there's lots of crimes that are happening, a lot of gang members are getting locked up. There's a lot of criminal activity that is caused by the death of these two men in realization. Can't say that word. They want to get back at whoever killed whoever's person, right? So Bill Clinton killed two people, and he got to put away hundreds and hundreds of gang members because of it, because of the violent crimes that they did after these killings. Okay. Now we know who called the shot, right? We know Bill called the shot. We know Tupac and Biggie died. So who pulled the trigger, so to be, right? So Tupac was killed by Dewan Davis, a member of the Southside Crips. And Biggie was killed by Warren Foss, a member of the Piru Bloods. So now we have 4 different gangs involved. Right? So like I said, gang violence is going through the roof, and Bill Clinton is there to profit in approval rating and money because of how many people are getting put away. So now we look at, other than Bill, who had the most to profit from Tupac and Biggie dying. And as many people know, and they have accused Elvis's death, Michael Jackson's death, right? The label always has the most to benefit from their artist dying because they own the music, and music spikes after people die, and they get all the money, and they don't have to share their cuts, right? Tupac was a part of Death Row Records, owned by felon and murderer Suge Knight. Biggie was a part of Bad Boy Records, owned by sex ring leader Sean Diddy Combs. All right, so not only are they two people who are sitting in a jail cell right now, but let's just say they weren't the most straight A guys, right? These were sketchy guys, and you could see why they would easily do something for the money, and could easily be convinced to do something even as hard as killing their number one person on their label. Now, obviously, Bill couldn't just call up Diddy, and he couldn't just call up Suge Knight. So there had to be someone in the middle. And let me introduce you to not my friend. I don't even want to be in the same. I think if I was in the same room as this guy, I would kick him in the jaw. AKA Ron Burkle. Now, some of you guys may know who Ron Burkle is. He's a Mark Cuban-esque figure, not on Shark Tank, but he is a major stock investor, top 600 richest men in the world, owns the Pittsburgh Penguins and major grocery store chains, and has a net worth of around $5 billion with a B, billion. During the 1990s, Burkle, a prominent Democratic fundraiser, became close with Mr. Murder Bill Clinton, so close that Clinton reportedly had a bedroom in Burkle's mansion. Some of their voyages together, however, reported humanitarian trips to Africa, came on disgraced child sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein's private Boeing 227. Burkle was also named in Epstein's court documents, but not in a criminal capacity. Right? So now we have Bill Clinton laced up there with Burkle, who's laced up there with Epstein. Right? Things are starting to look like a fucking triangle. And I'm not accusing the Illuminati because, honestly, I don't think the Illuminati would go this low. And now you may say, Welder, what does this have to do with anything? Well, unfortunately, in 2003, Burkle invested $100 million into Diddy's fashion brand, Sean John. Burkle is also reportedly the godfather of Diddy's children. Not only now do we have the motive, we have the murderer, the shot caller, the victim, and the payout. I don't know if you guys seen anything from Sean Diddy's comb fashion line. Sean John wasn't too good. Definitely wasn't worth $100 million, right? And Suge Knight's just a motherfucker who wanted to make some money. Well, look what he did. He not only killed Tupac. Well, I don't think Suge Knight killed Tupac. If you ask me, Diddy killed Tupac, Suge Knight killed Biggie. Diddy killed Tupac, Suge Knight killed Biggie, right? And supposedly that is the fact that Suge Knight did call the hit. Sorry, getting a phone call. Suge Knight did call the hit on Biggie. And now, was this a combined effort between Suge Knight and Diddy? I don't think so. I think it was kind of Bill and Ron Burkle and Epstein controlling the two and kind of caused one to do each other's murder just because maybe these guys wouldn't stoop as low to kill their own man. Now, the interesting thing, so in my theory, I just proved that. In 13 and a half minutes, I just proved that Bill Clinton allegedly killed Tupac and Biggie, right? But this shit gets a whole lot fucking deeper. Because now, I don't know if you guys heard, I did mention Diddy and Epstein, also connected to Bill Clinton, right? You got Bill, you got Diddy, you got Epstein, all right? Now, everybody knows if the strongest motive you can give someone to do something is blackmail. And although it hasn't been proven, Epstein's Island and Diddy's mansion were both filled with cameras. Now, were they directly called on by Bill and put these cameras up at the request of Bill and the Clinton crime cartel? Yes, 100%. You'd be stupid to think anything else. It makes so much sense, right? Diddy, after doing business with Bill through Burkle, currently his best friend. Burkle is also known as Diddy's billionaire best friend, right? Who was also Bill's best friend. This Burkle fucker, I could punch him in the fucking mouth, Um, it just makes all too much sense that Bill would put these guys up to getting as much blackmail as possible, right? So Epstein took care of the scientists and the more prominent white actors, when Diddy took care of the prominent black community, such as Kevin Hart, The Rock, Jay-Z, and those are all probably allegedly sex offenders. And then on Epstein's, you got Stephen Hawking, people like what's his name, the guy from Lost, not Lost, Wilson, like the volleyball Wilson, um, played Captain Phillips. All right, you know who I'm talking about. That little pedophile, allegedly. And tons of other scientists and shit, right? You know what's funny? I'm pretty sure Neil deGrasse Tyson, that dumb motherfucker who believes in the moon landing, I'm pretty sure he was not only at Diddy's parties, he was also at Epstein's Island. So it is funny that, like, he was just at both. He was probably the only crossover between Epstein's Island and Diddy's mansion. Now, it does make me sick. And at this point in the episode, I'm telling you, if you're going to need to, like, cheer up after watching this podcast. So search in your bar, college girls get arrested for DUI, gets violent. It's like some of the funniest shit. Like, you see these girls' whole life goes to shit, and they're also drunk, and girls can't handle themselves drunk. So it's like a whole funny getup of how, like, they're so drunk with, at first they don't really realize how fucked they are, and then as they start coming down a little bit, they, like, start to cry and shit because it's fucked, but it's actually kind of funny to watch. Now, where was I going with that? Let's just bring up the sponsor again. Great sponsor, PBR. If you're a white American landowner and want to just get so much fucking sniz you wouldn't even know what to do with it, drink PBR. Thank you. Now, here's a real fascinating part to me, right? So, obviously, Jeffrey Epstein gets killed in prison, right? Diddy will too. Mark my word, Diddy will get killed in prison. Here's the interesting part. Who killed Epstein, right? Was it Bill? Probably wasn't Bill, because Bill had nothing to lose. Even if Epstein squealed, he's not going to squeal on his best friend Bill. He's going to squeal on everybody else. So someone else, Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is a pedophile, is an alleged pedophile. That's the name I was looking for. Tom Hanks. He's not gonna squeal. He's gonna squeal on everybody else pretty much. So, now, you know, you'd have to figure one of these celebrities would call the hit on him, and we'll know if Diddy dies, that celebrity was Neil deGrasse Tyson. Anyways, there's also it's sad. It's definitely sad. Yeah. I know this is a short podcast, but I think I covered it. I think I did a good job, and that's really all I have to say today. So this one's going to be short, but I really think it was a good one. I really worked hard into this. I connected the dots and that nobody else could. So thank you for watching. This was episode 15 of the Welder's Wet Dream podcast. As I start and end every video, I will not kill myself. I will never kill myself. And if I am found dead in a way that looks like I have killed myself, it was the government. No, no, stop!